Hello everyone, my name is Keane, and in this particular video I'm going to be able to discuss the self-esteem as well as relationships and how people interact with each other in existence. There's a lot of people, usually from 16 to 26 I would say, a lot of people out there who have self-esteem issues. People out there who feel that they may never find that metaphorical soulmate, that person for their life, someone who's perfect for them. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do end up finding people who they think are the one, or they think that is that great somebody, and they end up not turning out the way they expected. There's divorces, there's people who break up, there's people who have problems. But every now and then someone finds somebody that they can spend the rest of their life with, someone who they can cherish the moments and have children with, or have a family, or just be really close friends, whatever the ordeal might be. But one of the problems that we have in society is that society as a whole, whether it be our government, whether it be marketing, whether it be what we see on TV or hear on the radio, kind of influences a lot of people on what is the right person, what is a good person, who is cool, who's not, who listens to the right music or who doesn't, who believes in the right color. I mean, it's all kinds of silly shit. Luckily for a lot of people, there's folks out there like myself who don't give a goddamn what the government or society or what the standards of the time or culture think at that time. There's people out there who might believe that they're too ugly. They might think, I'm just too ugly and I can't be able to get a relationship, I can't make friends or anything like this. The great thing about that is that there's people out there also who don't feel the same about themselves. There's people out there who also feel the same way as you. Anything that anybody's ever thought up, someone else has felt as well. Hell, there's people out there by society's standards who consider some people to be the most attractive thing on the planet. And those people within themselves might not even feel like they're as deserving of that title or as good. That's where self-esteem plays a part in all this situation. There's one thing I can say, and one thing I know from experience is that there's somebody out there for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're disabled. It doesn't matter if you have Down syndrome. It doesn't matter if you've gotten third-degree burns all over your body. It doesn't matter if you were born with, 20 fingers as opposed to 10. Not including the thumbs, of course. I know some people would joke. There's always going to be somebody out there. There's always somebody that either has the same problems as you or worse or less. So you'll never have to really worry about being alone. You'll never have to worry really about being misunderstood. The only people who would misunderstand you are people who simply just don't give a shit, who simply don't care, who simply haven't taken the time to get to know you as a person. So you never really have to worry about that. There's someone out there waiting to care for you. There's someone out there who's waiting to love you and be a part of your life. Not everybody is into sex either. When it comes to sex, there's some people who just simply don't care about that. There's some people who would rather sit in front of books and read. There's some people who would rather spend all day just playing video games. There's some people who are workaholics who would rather work behind a desk or do construction work instead of even have a relationship. So maybe you're one step ahead of everybody else. Who knows? The point is that there's one thing I've learned about life. The older you get, if you really pay attention or you listen, the more predictable people get. The more you start understanding what individuals' needs and wants are. When you're younger, you think that you have to dress up like your favorite MTV rapper. When you're younger and you're listening to the radio, you might think that blowing your hair out like in the 80s and stuff and wearing particular clothing is what people are looking for. You'll discover as you get older how silly these ideas and these thoughts were, because music is very fickle, as well as any creative genre or organization out there dealing with art. You don't have to sit there and base your life and the way you look and your standards based upon what you hear or what you read about or see, depending on the culture. Because the funny thing is that people who do that, they end up destroying themselves. And the reason why is because every decade, it seems, every decade, whether it be 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, changes. People's morals change. People's ideas on the way to live. People's ideas on how to dress constantly changes. So you shouldn't hold on to things that are so temporarily anyway. You shouldn't hold on to, what your favorite rapper said, because what your favorite rapper might think is cool, or your favorite basketball player, or whoever you idolize, doesn't really matter in the long run, because 5 years from then, when that person's burned out and they're doing something else with their life, or they're no longer in the spotlight, somebody else is going to come along and tell you what's cool and what sucks and all that kind of shit. So don't base your standards on what you see on TV anyway, because what you see on TV is all an illusion anyway. What those rappers say. Let me give you an example. I remember back in the day, a lot of people thought that gangster rap was pretty cool. Constantly rapping about shooting people in the face, constantly talking about the bling you have and the bitches you fucking hoes you roll and all this kind of weird shit. It never really mattered, because a lot of those rappers weren't who they claimed they were anyway. They were just marketing themselves. They were representing themselves as an image that was appealing at the time. And take Ice-T, for instance. Ice-T used to be in a band called Body Count, where he made a controversial record called Cop Killer. He claimed to hate cops. He claimed to want to destroy society. He claimed to be like an anarchist. But now he's playing in a TV show on TV, I believe, a court drama or something, Law and Order, where he actually plays a cop who deals with children who've been assaulted or rape victims. So, it is interesting. Take Ice Cube, for instance. He was a rapper who portrayed himself as a hardcore gangster. One of his well-known songs with Dr. Dre was Natural Born Killers, in which he portrayed himself as a devil, as a gunslinger who gets off and blowing people away, that he, treated women like hoes and bitches. Yet, just 10 years from his albums, he's starring in movies like Are We Here Yet?, where he plays a man who is trying to get into the heart of some woman that has children. And by doing so, he goes and he shows his love and respect and kindness to her children that aren't his, in order to get involved and have a family with these people. So for all those people out there who thought that they should take rappers and rock and rollers seriously, you shouldn't. You take guys even like Bon Jovi, or even some of your hardcore rock stars. Metallica was considered one of the most popular things of its time. Everybody was dressing in black and wearing their hair all long and everything like that. And look at Metallica, the way they've changed. See, my point is that you can't hold on to the standards of society or what people think is cool. Hell, if Kurt Cobain may have lived long enough, you never know. He might have shaved his hair. He might have decided to start wearing suits. You never know. Hell, I've seen in the Foo Fighters, one of his group members wearing a suit in one of his videos singing. Now, before, when we first seen this guy on video, he was wearing flannel, and looking like a bum off the street. So you can't go along with that. You should never hold yourself to the expectations or standards of society. Follow the law. Do what you got to do to be a good person to yourself. Look at your own standards. Value your own perceptions and your own principles of life. Do what you can as a person to better yourself. Don't try to be other people. Other people, especially the ones in the radio and TV, are not who they say they are anyway. I mean, a lot of people for years thought that Tom Cruise was the most beautiful man that they've ever seen, John Travolta, that they were intelligent and fantastic. Nowadays, we find out that they're Scientologists and they're confusing and they have a void in their life that they obviously need to fill. Not saying that they're bad people or that they're, empty vessels or anything, but you discover after time that people become more predictable. You understand that these people really don't have an understanding of what cool is. What cool is being yourself. You can make a name for yourself being who you are and saying the things that you feel and that are on your mind. There's a lot of atheists out there who look up to Richard Dawkins. There's Christians out there who look up to Kenneth Miller based upon how intelligent and their manner in speaking. It is good to want to be articulate. It is good to want to be scientific and intelligent and all that. But the most important is just to simply be yourself. So if one of your things is that you feel like you're too ugly, or you feel like you're too stupid, or you feel like whatever it is that you don't feel like you are capable of, you have to understand that the good news is, even if it's true, there's going to be somebody in the world, 5, 10 people, just like you, that you'll meet sooner or later in your life that are just like you, that you can identify with. No one is completely unique. Everybody has their different ideas and standards, but when you really look at things, no one's truly special. No one's truly better or less than another person. There are people out there who might have greater skills. There might be people out there who are more articulate. There might be people out there who are very creative and very humorous, such as comedians, and that you wouldn't be able to touch their comedy. But in everybody's own way, we're all funny. We're all silly. Just at the right times and the right moments is whenever you display it. So I hope this video helps those out there who kick themselves in the ass thinking that they're not as good or not as great or as wonderful. If you're looking for a relationship and you're looking for love, then it's out there. Everybody's going to find it. I've always believed that love is an illusion. Love is just simply a word that describes the fact that we identify with each other and we enjoy each other's company. And sometimes we become biologically as well as metaphysically and mentally attached to that person. So that's the way to do it. Don't try so hard. Don't push yourself so hard. Whatever you dream or whatever you want in your life, if you truly want it, you can make it happen. Now sometimes the dreams fail, sometimes things get shattered, and sometimes the world doesn't work out the way we want. But with enough time, sooner or later, you'll get something that is edible, something that is livable to deal with. So, also don't kick yourself in the ass if you make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has issues. Everybody has problems. It's no reason to sit there and, again, kick yourself in the ass. You've been listening to Keane. I hope this video helps.